I'm very pleased to be interviewing Stu Rodnick, who's Managing Director of Three Screen Nation LLC. Thank you for your time, Stu.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, tell us a little bit about your background and tell us a little bit about Three Screen Nation.
Sure. Actually, I started my career in the financial services industry. Worked for a Citigroup and a Salomon Brothers before moving to AOL, where I worked for around a decade, mostly in market research. And then after leaving AOL, I founded a firm, Three Screen Nation, and we're a digital marketing and insights boutique. We mostly work with brands to help them digitize marketing, and then with media properties to help them to promote their trade stories, and then lastly with advertising networks to help them to alchemize insights, which is really, instead of focusing on the gleams of data out there, to figure out what are the real actual insights that are going to move the needle.
So, when you say three screens, you're talking about television, internet, and is it mobile?
Yes, exactly. I think there's a lot of other screens now. The MP3 screens, the portable game systems, but I think really it comes down to being mobile through the television or the computer. So those are really the three core screens for the years to come.
And what trends do you see since you started Three Screen Nation?
Well, I think the two big trends are, one obviously gets spoken about a lot, which is mobile. I think there's no denying how huge mobile is going to be. I always think of the example back, a long time ago when there were Sony Watchmans and how you were limited, where you can just get a few channels with an antenna. And now, with all of this video content, especially being available on the internet, it's pretty wild what you can do with an iPod, iPad, or really the many other mobile devices that you can access video anywhere you are. And then the other second big trend, I think, which is emerging, I've been a long follower of the interactive television space, which has probably been one of the slowest technological developments to happen over the past 15 years. I think there was an article in Wired in 1997 that I have on my desk where Bill Gates is quoted basically saying that he's going to make, he'd like Windows to be as much on the TV sets as it is on computers, and that was 1997. So it's taken around 14 years for that to really hit the market. But now here we are in the fall of 2010. Apple just released a new Apple TV box, which is $99. Boxy's coming out with an interesting new product. Google TV's getting into the space, and then you have television manufacturers who are actually shipping sets now that are equipped with internet connections. So I think interactive television is finally wouldn't say getting ready for prime time, but getting ready for liftoff.
Stu, what exactly did you do for AOL?
Sure. I was heading up the ad effectiveness team, and one of the areas that I'd say we were really the leaders in was addressable media, because AOL historically had a huge database with a lot of people's addresses from when it was a huge subscriber business. So being able to take that information and match it back with other companies' databases, and for example, figure out if a consumer was exposed to an advertisement, did they go out to a store and actually purchase products? So giving brand advertisers a level of ROI, accountability, so that and transparency that never existed before. So I think I feel lucky that I was exposed to that early on, but I think there's a lot of other players getting into that space now, and I think the real exciting thing is when that same world, when that moves into the television space, which is what you're starting to see, with the Canoe partnership, as well as other players such as TRA, a lot of interesting players in that world.
How did the privacy issue impact what you did for addressable advertising in those days?
Sure. Well, I think that the key is that you just can't you can't do anything that's at the individual level, so that you can't compromise someone's security. So a lot of precautions were put in place to protect people's PII.
And what do you think the future is for addressable advertising as a form of media currency?
Sure, I think it's going to be big. I mean, I think that when I view the online world, I think the two things that we've really accomplished in the online world is, first of all, targeting has become close to perfected, one-to-one targeting, and the other piece is offering long tail services. But I think that when you look at all that targeting that's been done, it's going to also move into the television space, and I think it's going to I think leading marketers are always going to want to be associated with great content, but then there's things like the spot market, there's news, and a lot of that you can get more value out of that inventory if you were to put targeting parameters on it.